So welcome everyone. I am Robin Bela. For those of you who know me, um, you know that I've been doing this work for a while, and it's been over 13 years now. And the work that I'm sharing with you has been tried and tested in my own life and with my clients. And my quest to reach here to be able to teach you all this and share with you this experience and knowledge has been mainly because I personally wanted to find the secrets to happiness, peace, bliss, and abundance. And this quest has made me realize that I have, um, you know, because obviously I did experience certain things in life and I received um, good results when I applied these things. I realized that the importance of sharing this with everyone. And also, I understood that it is not something that you experience instantly. The transformation sometimes can be instant for if you all, you've got the right tools in front of you, which I'm trying to do that for you. But my journey took me a while, for some years, because I tried so many things. And in the end, it really um, connected me back to God, connected me back to love, and the essence of where we began as we were born. And knowing that this is available to everyone is the biggest secret. And we always think that only some lucky people can receive this, because God wants us to have it all, but we block it with our own thoughts and emotions we hold. So I know when I started releasing all the judgments, I started feeling freedom and not threatened by any of the circumstances around me. And it surprised me actually in the beginning, because when I say that, because I had plenty of fears, and to the extent that I couldn't actually sleep peacefully at one point. So now those fears can be right in front of me, and I don't feel anything about the way I used to feel it, about these the way I used to react to those things before. And I've come to the point that I not only am able to forgive and not fear the wrong, but also have love and compassion towards those who threaten my peace. So today I will share more on this process. So when we let go of fear, miracles can occur. And because really, you can imagine that in the place of fear, no miracles can happen. So you can pray all day and be saying things that is coming through fear. But when you're not asking for letting go those fears, or you're actually not committing to seeing differently and seeing through God's perception and not through your own ego, then nothing is changed unless we do that. No prayers are heard. So um, it's more like we're not allowing because of our own thoughts. God wants to help, but we are sitting in fear. And unless we learn to or be open to stepping into the energy of love, then God cannot lend us hand. God's putting all kinds of signs of, come on, let's move towards love and see life is amazing. But we sit in fear and say life is all doom and gloom. And so we keep seeing that. So now you are becoming miracle minded. And I'm actually very excited because you're stepping into this same process of moving towards the place of, where miracles are happening, where you can find your peace and joy and everything that you're looking for. Because you're not standing, in the circle of light. You have made a commitment to watch yourself by paying attention to your thoughts and that you're having, and also your emotions that you're experiencing. You're paying attention to everything. You're paying attention to the words that are coming out of your mouth. And you're paying attention to when you're focusing on the past and also when you're focusing on the future. So you're really stepping into mastery and bringing yourself back to the present moment. You are acknowledging that there's a presence and a power in your life, and you're spending time with God. You've made a dedication now, from now, this work that you're doing, that you're shifting really from the thought system of fear over to love. And you are realizing that we already are whole and complete. And you're recognizing that you're not just a body, but soul, and not separate from God, and also from the people around us. We all are one energy of love. The ego is what separates us. And here, what we're really doing is training our minds to just do that, to not let our ego rule our minds. So when there is grievances, in our life, there is no love at that point possible, really, right? So where is the platform or the fertile soil from where the good energies can grow, which is miracles to happen? So, and then we say we want to manifest so many things in our life, and we want to feel this good in our lives, that we have achieved so many things, but we are sitting in the energy of fear, we're sitting in the energy of lack. So what we're really doing is, by holding on to these grievances, is not letting the energy of love come to us, not let the energy of peace come to us, and we remain in this place where it is actually becomes toxic, um, and how many times we see people who are really in a place where it gets very bad, and people can go into medications and drugs and numb the feelings of emotions of pain and fear. So really, our job is not to numb it, not to cope with it in life, and or to even forget our dreams. Our job is to face the fears and to allow love to replace them, so that all that fears can be dissolved, and then light can enter in our lives, and we can see clearly what is really the truth, because fear is not the truth. That is our illusion of our own minds. And so they are just all created by our own self. So unless we truly are letting go all that bothers us, then they will continue, to bother us. Because the more we move into these lower energies of negativity and fear, the more we cannot create anything that we want. And we actually think that's the way life is, that's our reality. And actually, all that is an illusion, because God wants everybody to be happy, to be abundant, to be joyful, and not hold these thoughts of lack. So when we can be free of our own thoughts ruling our minds, God's love and light naturally is felt stronger. And in fact, you know, it is quite possible that you may have experienced the energy of love and light, and then the next day you had some experience of anger with somebody, and then you are naturally again blocking the light, right? So unless you clear up and be free, the light and love is not possible to enter. So as I mentioned earlier, I had that kind of experience when I've experienced amazing, immense love and light, and then afterwards I had this experience suddenly of some anger, and then I had to wait to get back to that state again till I released it. So the but it is possible to reach that state of feeling peace and love in heart, and the only thing you have to commit is to allowing your thoughts, judgments, all to be really in check. And that takes a while. And it's not that you will not get new thoughts of something else coming in your mind. As long as you've trained your mind that this thought is not real, it's just an illusion, and that you are in charge of your thought or choosing your choice of thought, good or bad. So you can choose to not react, to choose not to observe too long to that, you know, whatever you're seeing or hearing. So that's being conscious, right? That's, you know, you're not sleeping through life. What comes and hits you, you react and then let the situation just take over your life. You are in charge. And you're always safe when you're connected to the energy of love and God, and you're supported and you're not alone. And light can enter when we let go everything creating darkness, which is all grievances, fears, judgments. So then you do not even require the need to enforce that God's love is shining in me, for example, because, and you may be saying it several times, to actually feel the energy of love or connection to God, because once you're really, you know, aware that you are born with love and light, you're naturally born whole and complete, then there's nothing to be added on to you other than just removing all the things of layers of darkness that you have put on yourself through your thoughts and fears and anger and emotions and unforgiveness, all of that. So what we're just doing is cleansing and fasting of thoughts, of these kinds of thoughts, so that when our mind can be empty, then God's love will just pour naturally. It's just like wants to just fall like a waterfall over you, like light just falls, spills in. And when we are doing this work of releasing and healing, what we are doing is not doing any specific technique from our end, because in truth, you may have done this kind of work for years, therapies, all kinds of hours and hours of it on one same topic. And how far did you go? You know, how far can a human mind go in fixing it? There's none, because past cannot be changed, but we can let it go through God. And when we see the love and light of the God, we are able to transform. We are able to be that of the light of way we were born. When we remember that and go back and return to love. And this place, you know, we cannot mentally, logically figure out how to do that. It comes naturally because it happens through God. So that's why we say miracles, because it's instant and it happens suddenly. And that's the part where we human, sometimes I've noticed with some of my clients as well, that they struggle to let go that part. So that we have to do something now to make it happen. Is it that simple that I'm just going to give it to God and God's circle of light, or, some prayer? And that's where, your trust is coming back, right? That what we talked about before, that you got to give yourself fully into this process to try and then see for yourself, because this kind of experience is not, you cannot put words to it, how it happens. And that's why it's called a miracle, right? That's why it's called um, God's blessings, and how suddenly things changed. So when you experience this love and light in your life becomes a miracle, really, because things come naturally to us, and most importantly, there is peace within us, and we're not actually every single minute striving to get somewhere to find happiness and peace. We are already there in our energy field, and our day is filled with it. That is where, that is, if you've received and achieved that, you have really achieved everything, because that's the point from where you will start manifesting everything naturally, because you're in a place of relaxed energies, you're in a place of loving energies, no fears. Then all you desire starts happening effortlessly, because there's nothing that you are blocking with your mind at that point. So you recognize now that all thoughts in your mind are meaningless in that way, right? Because they are all created by yourself. So there's nothing in real and that you have to believe there. So when we let go of control of making things happen, when we get in our mind a fear that this will not happen, and we say, oh, we're going to do something about it. At that point, you got to remember that we can let God's will appear if we let go control, because we don't know really, at times, that what is best for us, and also how it should appear, what we want. And most importantly, our fears are only going to block anything to happen. So no miracles can happen. And of course, you will be in a place of anxiety all the time and not happy. So, life is meant to be effortless. And our perception of lack, which is wrong, and that's the point where we start worrying, and we need to do something. So we got to stop only that aspect of us that in our mind. So your mind might say many things. It's up to us to take it seriously or not, right? So our only purpose is to be relaxed and joyful as we go about what we do. And we can have goals in place through, that are placed in our minds, or, through our own ego, which is what, that's how our mind functions. But our true goal is only to recognize happiness in the now. Because in truth, we really do not know what is best for us. And God does reveal it eventually and takes us there. But for that, we have to let go control as well. So for that, we need to be determined to see things differently, be determined to see people differently, and be determined to see situations differently, so that we are not stuck in our own thought that this is the way it has to be, this is when it has to be. And for all you know, there's a better option, being shown by God. So, and sometimes God is standing with the whole plate of things that this is here, this is what you want, I'm ready to give you, but you're holding on to fear. So how can I give it to you? You're not ready to receive, because you have to be in the energy of love to receive anything good in life. So really all the illusions we hold in mind that are negative definitely have to have no, you can see how uh, they're of no use to us, and how we spend our time with them is really, after a point you will realize how pointless it is. And as you recognize that, it becomes easier and easier, and that's how change happens in our mind, our perception, and that's how the shift happens. So you're already on the way there. You're already seeing the differences when you do notice these things. It's all about how often how keenly you're focused and observing yourself. Because after a point, you won't need to observe. You will be very naturally looking at things differently. So everything that you're seeing is a form of, when you are seeing negativity, is a form of vengeance. It's not real, because in this world, which is without ego, of the God, only love is real. And then the question is, how long then do you want to remain there and create a meaningless world in that energy of vengeance? So it could be just simple vengeance against not others, but yourself too. That I'm going to prove myself this and this and this, as if there's something wrong with you. They can be a very general goal that I want to try this, I want to do this, but it's not out of the energy of lack in you. As long as you're doing it out of joy, there's a difference in the energy of when you do things, and that's the difference of the success. So you see many people. There are people who may be working hours and hours and not receiving any success because they have the energy of lack in their energy, probably because success comes to those who believe in that, and they probably think that it's too hard. And there can be somebody who doesn't work so many hours but has the energy of success, always like, I'm doing well and I deserve. So that energy makes a big difference in how that person receives it quickly. And so this is what we will do today, is like, I will offer you some tools to help release fears and anything bothering you on a deeper level. And I also want to say before that healing of mind and change of perception and receiving miracles can be usually instant. So be open to that when you do this work, so that you don't carry the perception of the mind, that, it takes long. It doesn't. It is your choice again. So the fears, now what I held, and that, afterwards, that threatened my peace, and possibly even my life, was released quite instantly when I did this work. So I can tell you with my own experience that it is possible. But maybe I noticed the full difference in a couple of days, but I know that happened instantly because I was relaxed right away. So I will share with you now what exactly I was practicing then. And then there are two things that I was doing really, other than my usual circle of light daily. I know thoughts are meaningless, so every thought that bothered me, I sincerely prayed to God to change them. And this could just take just a minute when I did that. So this is the beauty of this work, that when God is doing the work, you don't have to do it. You just have to ask. That's all. So these thoughts now, which I had in my mind, I knew are attacking me. So all I wanted to do in the prayer was that, I wanted to give those thoughts away so I can give up, all these thoughts and escape the world I see, and So the world of attack, really, that's what I was seeing. So I was giving up the attack thoughts and escaping the world that I was seeing by doing that, because it was my illusion. My mind was making it up and even though it may be, certain things happen in front of you, you can choose to fear it or not, right? So I intended that, and I prayed to God saying that this, and saying also this very important line that I want you to use in your prayers as well, is that my perception of the situation be changed to the perception of that of God's perception. So that whatever God thinks is right for this situation, or is whatever he thinks is happening, is what I will hold. And God never holds fear, God's all about love and light. So I didn't even need to know how that works, but I know that my energy had shifted and my fears had moved out. So all I'm saying is, in the process of this work, is that I say that these thoughts are attacking me, and so I want to give up and escape this world of attack and fear, and I'm giving up this thoughts of attack completely. And I pray that my perception be changed to that of yours. So I'm praying to God, just saying just that. And so all you're saying, this one line, God, please change your perception to that of yours, you will see fears dissolve, really. Like the way I said, the waterfall of light just comes along, because your fears disappear, you're filled with God's light instantly, because there's a vacuum and the energy can fall straight away into you. The only thing that was blocking was fear. So you use it once as prayer, probably spend a minute on it, and don't dwell there after saying, because that's the part where you're holding on to fear still. So once you've said it and done, focus on some other things, on other thoughts, and so that you can kind of let this change of perception happen. Because you're not going to do this, you will just notice. So you may come across more layers of stuff coming up as you release one thing, and it is easy to give away all of this, whatever comes up after you've done one. So just as you did the first step, say the same thing, same lines for anything else, any other fear related to that fear or anything else coming up, and you just let it go. So in fact, when you're sitting with it and with eyes closed and you're saying it, you may notice, okay, I've said that, but I also have that fear connected to that. And then you say the same thing. So you will notice the layers. So, and it is very freeing. You will notice that when you do this. And also it's amazing to know that you don't have to fear or worry about anything that is bothering you. You can instead choose happiness and peace right away. So this is something that is simple and powerful, and I would love for you to try this. So all you have to do is, it's important now to recognize that the fear and anger, that thoughts that you may have, that you're attaching, not just attacking your, other people with that, but you can be attacking yourself. So you don't want your mind on the, being ruled by these thoughts. You want God to rule your mind and not the ego. So as long as you understand that that's the deep down important part and aspect, it'll be easy for you to let go everything. You don't even need to find a reason why you need to let go, because you don't want to attack your own self and hold these toxic thoughts in your mind. So now you can think for a moment of any thoughts of fear specifically that you may be holding, and it's all creating fear in you on a daily basis, perhaps. And once you do, we as usual will do a meditation prayer to clear it all right away right now. And if you are ready to relinquish your ego, then God is willing to do everything for you. Our human minds think years of pain, of fear must take years. So really, you decide now, this can be instant. And that thought pattern of years taking, was of the ego mind, not of the God's miracle mind. So God's perception of you is only that of pure love and bright light, expressing purity. It does not matter even if your ego personality has done a lot of wrong in life. All is forgiven when we choose God's light instead of ego's thought. So right now, think of things that can concern you right now that are concerning you with anything that might be important in your life, and you know that you have some fear about it. So you can say in your mind, okay, I'm observing, I'm afraid this dash will happen. Sometimes we don't acknowledge certain things that this might happen, and we know we actually do fear some things. So just put some words in your mind. I'm afraid dash will happen. Now take a moment there, because you're witnessing your fear, and you're observing all that you want to not hold anymore. They are your own attack thoughts. And so, even if you're thinking of attacking somebody else, that thought of attack is going to attack you first. Your energies, your mental state, and everything first. So, and all of this arises from fear, of course. So it's all you're observing, and it's great that if you are receiving some things in your mind, because at least you're aware what needs to go now. So if anybody at any point has to share or has a question before we do this exercise, please feel free to leave in the Q&A box. And I will also will offer my own general examples that should relate to many of you clearing all your stuff right now, and it'll give you some clarity of how to use this practice on a daily basis for different things that may arise in your life. So, okay, I have one person saying here, what can I do if the attack is real now? Should I still let it go? Okay, this is such an important question, because you may be facing attack, and yes, you still let it go, because what you are letting go is fear. When fear goes, attack goes, and energy is of the attacker also starts changing, which is the amazing part. And in my case, the attacker hadn't stopped attacking my peace when I let it go. In fact, got aggressive actually when I let it go. But I was so grateful for the miracle that it wasn't affecting me even then. So then, and it all ended, because conflict cannot exist from one side only, right? So it requires your participation, and even if you're as a participant are a victim. So I hope that makes sense, and that's a great question, because all we need to focus on is changing one's perception to that of God, and God only sees love. Okay, yes, it makes sense. Great, thank you. That was a great question, Joanne. I have one more question here. Okay. Should we always forgive people who are repeatedly selfish and abusive? So here again, you would want to use the same statement to God, please change the perception of, what I hold about this person to that of yours, God, because what you're seeing is not love in them. And so it's causing you more pain, right? So you're not here to change and fix people around. You're here only to change your energy so that you can be at peace no matter what people around are like. And when you change your energy, soon their whatever they do and however they act will not affect you. In fact, you'll find love and compassion for them. Just like the example I gave about me, because I could see people who were attacking me were would not change, but I still changed my energy, and I was able to be at peace even when they were more aggressive than normal after I finished completing my process. So, which meant that it didn't matter what people around are like. I was able to find my peace. And that person, the attack, also, they kind of moved, their energy changed. They became less effective, or in a way, trying to do something on me because I wasn't reacting, because I didn't have the charge of the victimhood. So sometimes some things from others affect us because we are in a place where we hold some of the charge in us as a woundedness of, of being a victim of something around that line that we have faced before, and we see in others and we get triggered. So our job is to heal that by letting it go, by saying that change my perception of this fear or this thing that I don't like to that of God's perception. So your eyes will become more of the kind eyes, compassionate eyes of God. And you will also see that it's not going to affect your peace. So does that make sense to you, Sushila? You're asking me that question. If you think that you need me to have a conversation, you can also raise your hands, by the way, everybody, and I can actually speak to you as well. Okay, great, Sushila. She says, yes, thank you. That answers it. Perfect. So this is great. So I like that, you're all asking me, and I know where you all are at. So now we can probably do this practice right now and see for yourself how this feels for you. In fact, those people who ask me those questions right now can apply straight away for that exact things that you had asked me, and then everything else that comes in your mind. So perfect. So now I want you to let's focus on doing this practice. So you can close your eyes for this one. And right now what you're doing is exactly thinking of that thought in your mind that bothers you, and you're bringing it to your own awareness. And now you're going to say to this, I see them as an attack to my own self. I pray, God, please change the perception of these fears and all these emotions bothering me to your perception, God, of love, peace, and light. And now my perception is that of yours, God. Your vision is my vision. I see through your eyes and I hear through your ears. I am so grateful for this. So this prayer is all you need for a miracle. And now you can relax. So This is the part where you gotta not worry or think whether I need to do anything more. You let go and trust. And you're now carrying the perception of God. And you know that all is well because only thing that was bothering you was your own thoughts about the situation. So we can now look at some more thoughts in general for further clearing. And I'll just put some examples here. And of course, you can add your own personal ones that you still have more to clear. So, God, I give you all perception of lack in money and abundance. So it be changed to your perception of what abundance is and how to live abundantly. And I'm so grateful. God, give me your perception of joy and take mine away. And I'm so grateful. God, change all my perception of those who do wrong to that of yours, God. I'm so grateful. I am filled with love for them, compassion for them. I am so grateful for the peace in myself. God, change my perception of well being and good health to that of yours so I can take all the right steps for me. And I'm so grateful. And at this point, you can add some of your own statements if you still have more. So it's almost like you are giving away everything and changing it instantly and transforming instantly your mind. And your if your mind is transformed, your energy in your body will start transforming, and sometimes you will notice healing happening, and circumstances around you will start shifting. And that's the miracle of just this, changing your perception to that of God, because we are holding our ego mind, fears, doubts, and everything that is not of love and light. Even when we see in others, and when we see things around us affecting us, it is our job to change our perception so we are in the good energies and peace with that. Because one part of being non-judgmental that we are learning to do is to not worrying about changing others or trying to fix them. So once we let go that we have to do this and I wish they would do this, and worrying about it, and accept everybody as they are, whatever pace they are of their own soul's learning, we can choose to be the beacon of light ourselves. And usually I have experienced that people around change. Like, when you change, and people usually will not change if you're carrying the energy that they should change. It's just the way it is. The energy of love changes them because you're feeling that unconditional love. And so, in the end, everything God does, you don't do anything really. Even the changing of others happens miraculously because of God. So our only job is to not worry about anything of the past, future, but stay present with enjoy and happiness, and to keep our energies always in a place of love and light, so that we can slowly start doing things exactly what God wants us to, instead of our ego mind. And that will start happening. That is the beauty of this process, too. So, right now, when we pray to God to change the perceptions, you're saying, I do not know what is best for me because God does. And I'm laying my thoughts of ego down and let God be in charge of my thoughts, my day, and life. And all I do is that I can say often during the day, which I do, you can try as well, that God, I am listening to you. And you will notice that just saying that all, you know, you may start getting some kind of um, motivation to do things. And so, which is brilliant because you will feel like you're on the right path, like you're doing things that you always wanted to, and things like that will start happening. And you will slowly notice that with the exercise you just done, that all issues bothering you start vanishing literally. You may observe them probably slightly, but fear will eventually go completely, and usually quite instantly. That's how it works for me, at least. And since you're listening now to God, you will be naturally doing all the right things. You will notice you will get productive probably. So this is the part where it's all opening up too, as you are changing your perception to God and listening to God. And you're letting all those victimhood attack thoughts of to yourself, to others, everything go, and letting go perceptions of every person that is you're not feeling happy about, change it to God. Instantly you're feeling peace, right, when you do that. And that's the all that is the goal, to be in peace and enjoy at this moment, so that when you're in that space, everything naturally starts happening well for you in life. So you can slowly open your eyes if you've still got them closed. So I hope that you feel lighter and more um, joyful in the coming days as you practice this. And it's a very simple practice. You can be doing this along with your circle of light, along with it or separately. And you don't even need to close your eyes while you're walking about and you suddenly felt some kind of tension about certain things. Just say in your mind, God, change the perception of what I'm seeing to that of yours. Just having that as a mantra in yourself will really keep you aligned and out of your ego mind and fearful mind and all, things mind that will try and make you feel like a victim. And this will keep you, it's feeling safe that you are not some you're not going to be hit by anything suddenly. You're always able to be balanced and centered in within yourself. And thoughts can come, that's okay, but you notice and observe and you react accordingly as you think is you're now when it is just of the ego mind, right? So you will start being able to differentiate now, which is going to be really good when you start doing that, because you'll know when it's fearful, when it's of the ego, right? So so um this is what I'm really looking forward to seeing, how this unfolds for you now, and see all kinds of miracles start happening for you. And the miracle of just not just feeling peace, which was bothering you, the situation was bothering you for a while, is a miracle, right? So these kind of things, when you start acknowledging these miracles, they'll happen more and more in your life. So, As always, I love hearing how you're doing, so please let me know if there's anything you wish to share at any time. And I have no other questions right now, unless somebody has before I leave. So, okay. So brilliant. This has been great. I think I will leave you with this today. And thank you again for joining me, and also to those who are listening in the recording. So have a wonderful day and take care.
If you'd like to get more support from me through my membership program, the one that you just heard program is from my app and my membership program. That was from around the 2018 year onwards that you've been listening. What's going on today and what support you can get from me personally on this program is what you can check out here. So you will have not only the one that you are hearing, there's 170 seminars at the moment there, and it's 2 sessions being added every month. And you can suggest your own topics as well. There's so many other programs, as you can see on the screen. There's also this manifestation flow intensive where you can ask me your own personal questions, and you can just leave it in the community section and I create a manifestation flow intensive for you. So you don't have to be live. There are replays available for all the sessions. There's Stillness and Divine Inquiry, where you can actually practice the energy work in this work that we do. There's e-bonus, that is e-course bonuses like I Am Who I Am, Connecting to the Healer Within, 6-week Spiritual Manifestation 101. And all of this they're obviously expensive, but for a monthly subscription, you can just get it for £37.99. So if you're interested, just click on the link, and that is on the description, and you'll get to this page that I am on, and you can sign up and access all the community learn section, tracking, and so many programs. And it's a way where we can really work towards your awakening, towards your deeper understanding of how to manifest spiritually your true happiness, peace, success, and everything that you're aspiring for. It is not a one time work, it is a lifetime work because you are building your conscious awareness. So the higher you go, the higher your uh, results are. So to be able to learn this way of being and learn this way of understanding of how to work with this spiritual manifestation, please do join in, and I would love to see you there. And as I mentioned, this is also not just on the web that you will be able to access the membership. You will be also having an access to this app, which is also called Spiritual Manifestation 101, and is available on the app stores. But the easiest way to connect to me is on the link that I have shared, and you'll be able to sign up to your app once you've signed up from there. Okay, thanks very much. See you there. Bye bye.